As more motorized e-bikes not allowed on city streets make their way onto city streets, one county is taking some first steps to cut down on dangerous riding.
I'm Shalima Maharaj. Teen crash fatalities are up 91% over the last decade, according to CDOT. We're going to break down what's behind those numbers.
And taking a live look outside, it's going to be dry and hot out once again today. A combination of low humidity, high temps, and strong winds are creating elevated risk of fire danger across the state once again today. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Corey Rose.
I'm Jennifer Meckles in for Drew Carney today. Let's talk about those conditions because it has been the perfect ingredients for the worst wildfire danger right now.
Really?
Katie LaSalle joins us in the Weather Impact Team Center right now. What's going on with the forecast?
Good morning, you guys. Yes, we have more red flag warnings that will take effect for this afternoon. Outside this morning from Horsetooth Reservoir out across the eastern plains, sun is shining in Denver. A beautiful morning if you're taking a hike, a bike ride, really comfortable conditions. We saw some cloud coverage over Winter Park just about 30 minutes ago, and now skies are clearing as promised. So clouds will give way to sunshine off to our west, but red flag warnings will be the name of the game in the Weather Department for this Wednesday, June 10th. Again, western Colorado, red flag warnings, which mean elevated fire danger. If a fire were to spark, it has the potential to spread. We're talking wind gusts anywhere between 40, even 50 miles per hour over higher terrain from the west. Low relative humidity, Denver and east under that red flag warning as well, starting at noon, lasting until 8 p.m. So the strongest winds expected for the second half of the day, not in effect just yet, but you can see right around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Strong winds into the mountains here for the I-25 corridor, upwards of 30 miles per hour possible at times. Calmer later on tonight and tomorrow. And from temperatures in the 50s and 60s right now here across the plains and 40s and 50s in the mountains, it's going to be, again, very warm. Around a lot of sunshine and a high of 90 expected in Denver.
Katie, thank you so much. We do have a disabled vehicle that's blocking a couple lanes for anyone heading northbound I-25 near 6th Avenue. You are seeing those slowdowns right now. Those northbound lanes along I-25 is where we're going to see that disabled vehicle. So if you're trying to hop on to 6th Avenue, you won't be impacted as much as northbound lanes along I-25. I want to get to your drive times, especially in that area. If you are heading out the door, downtown to the tech center, northbound lanes, a 17-minute drive. Heading southbound, it's just our morning rush hour traffic. No crashes to report across the metro or all the way up to Fort Collins and that Castle Rock commute. Right now, if you are taking I-25 heading southbound, you're only looking at a 20-minute drive. Now, turning to some troubling stats from the roads, CDOT says that teen crash fatalities have gone up by 91% in the last decade. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj, she joins us live this morning. Shalima, do we know what's behind this surge?
Yeah, CSP was actually saying that there are a number of factors contributing to crashes involving teenagers, and that includes distracted driving, speeding, lane violations, following too close, and crashes involving animals. Now, when it comes to that age group between 15 and 20 years of age, they actually saw fatalities, among them going from 45 in 2015 to 86 just last year. And right now we are in the middle of the 100 deadliest days of summer. That stretches from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and essentially teens face the greatest risk of crashing during the first 3 months after getting their driver's license. Now, once they're on their own, studies have shown that overall inexperience and risk-taking drastically increase their odds of getting into a crash. Now, this information all comes just ahead of new requirements for obtaining a learner's permit in the state of Colorado. That takes effect on New Year's Day, and something else that CDOT is really hoping to underscore here is just how few teens are actually wearing their seatbelts. In fact, nationally, teens have the lowest use of seatbelts among any age group. And in Colorado, 39% of teen drivers who died in crashes were not wearing their seatbelts. Reporting live in Denver, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Shalima, thank you. Yesterday, Douglas County commissioners took the first step in an effort to get e-motorcycles off the street. They approved the first reading of an ordinance that would create mandatory fines for some riders. This is all aimed at bikes not intended to be ridden on city streets and a very specific class of scooters. Officials throughout the metro have reported a lot of issues, more and more of them with these vehicles. Things like teenagers getting hit, riders using these bikes to evade police. DougCo officials hope the ordinance could be a starting point to make things safer. And if it passes, fines would start at $150, could go up to $1,000. And parents who let their underage children ride these vehicles on public roads, they could also face a fine. We have some new details this morning about why Denver's outdoor sirens went off on Monday, even though there was no threat of a tornado to the city. City says protocol wasn't followed.
Right. It's the third time this year Denver mistakenly sent out emergency alerts to the entire city or issued incorrect emergency messages. The city's Office of Emergency Management admits the sirens were activated inadvertently by the Denver Fire Department. Someone called 911 to report a tornado. That report somehow made its way to a small team of 5 people on shift with Denver Fire that has access to activating the city's sirens. Someone on that team activated the city's sirens even though there wasn't a confirmed tornado or even a tornado warning.
A very well-intended employee trying to see the safety of our residents got a call about a sighting of a tornado and activated the sirens without the verification process. He didn't follow the protocol.
Standard protocol is that once a tornado warning is issued by the National Weather Service, the sirens are automatically activated and a wireless alert is sent out to phones in the city. When the sirens went off on Monday, there was a tornado watch, but not a tornado warning.
2 people are out of their home today after a lithium-ion battery fire at their home yesterday. It happened in Aurora on East Cornell Street near South Tower Road. That fire was contained just to the garage, but Aurora Fire Rescue says the folks can't go back inside now because of smoke damage to the home. Good news, nobody got hurt. Today, Fort Collins might finally have answers about the future of the shuttered El Palomino Motel on North College Avenue. This was first reported by our partners at the Coloradan. The Fort Collins Urban Renewal Authority has a hearing scheduled to see if it can use eminent domain to buy and condemn the motel. Colorado law has a pathway for some groups to take control of problematic properties without the owner's consent, but the Renewal Authority will have to pay a fair market value for it. The organization says conditions exist to condemn it, like meth, asbestos, and groundwater contamination. A hearing is set for 1:15 today. A woman accused of kidnapping a toddler earlier this week is headed to court this morning. The little girl is home safe. Investigators say she was taken near her home Monday. Greeley police say they got a call from the child's mom around 6:20 Monday night. Couldn't find her 3-year-old. Mom says she saw the girl go to a neighbor's house in their complex, but when they realized she didn't actually go inside, they called police. Greeley police say this case did not meet the criteria for an Amber Alert, but they did put out a reverse 911 alerting people within 5 miles, and then the tips poured in, ultimately helping them find the little girl with a woman.
So Canine Onyx had alerted to her scent, which helped us pinpoint the neighborhood that she was in, and then the multiple tips coming in and people pointing to our officers as they were driving down the street, showing that that's the direction that they had went, and our officers were able to see the woman and the child walking down the street once they got onto that road.
So 30-year-old Mariah Martinez was arrested. She and the girl were found about a mile from the child's home. Greeley police do not believe the suspect knew the child. She is expected in court this afternoon. The city of Loveland has agreed to pay more than $500,000 to the owners of a dog that was shot by a police officer in 2019. This would settle a federal civil rights lawsuit nearly 7 years after it happened. The settlement stems from an encounter in 2019 when a Loveland police officer shot a dog while responding to a trespassing call. The dog's owner later sued the city and the officer, arguing the shooting was unnecessary. As part of the settlement, Loveland will pay the family $675,000. It'll also update its policies and training related to officer encounters with dogs.
Herkimer had to die for Loveland to change, and that never should have been the price. But because of him, at least, and because of the bravery of Wendy and Jay in fighting this case, the community is safer today, we hope, for our pets and for all of us. And that'll be Herkimer's legacy.
Loveland police have not yet provided details about the additional training officers will receive. A spokesperson sent us a statement that says, quote, "Since this incident occurred nearly 7 years ago, our policies and trainings have continued evolving to reflect best practices. Additional updates are also being reviewed and implemented."